I just learned this morning that President elect Donald Trump has assigned Tom Holden as the border czar. Now, the title or role of the border czar was created by Joe Biden, while Mayorkas was head of DHS, the Department of Homeland Security. And everybody was saying the person in charge of the border as border czar is the function of DHS. So it made no sense to have a border czar and the Department of Homeland Security, which deals with the border. Now, the word czar is used in Soviet Russia. Soviet Russia. It really should never be used in America. Okay? And for Joe Biden to call Harris the border czar was a big red flag that said we are embracing communism or Soviet politics. Okay. Now, Trump assigns Holden as the border czar. The border czar title and position should be retired. It doesn't belong in a Trump presidency or administration. And if Tom Holden is the border czar, then who would be in charge of DHS? I mean, someone somewhere did not think this through. Tom Holden would be perfect for DHS. Maybe his plan was, oh no, it wasn't that. Okay. Maybe, because he said this outright, he spelled it out, that Tom Holden would be in charge of the mass deportation of all the criminal illegal aliens. Now, when everybody on the left, including this one poor black woman, African American woman of color, whatever term makes you comfortable, okay, said she was so afraid she was going to be a slave, you know, she is really going to be shocked when that doesn't happen. There will be no internment camps for black slash brown slash African American slash people of color. It won't exist. It doesn't exist. It would never exist. All that Trump wants to do is deport illegal aliens. The 13 million illegal aliens, which include terrorists, criminals, which we already know, like Trendagua, okay, and the people over in Ohio that has disrupted that entire community. He's going after criminals first. Get the criminals out of the United States. Once the criminals are gone, then we can deal with everybody else. And I think what would happen, and I think what should happen, is after Trump deports all those criminals and rapists and murderers out of the country, then maybe Trump could say, okay, let's see about taking all the others, and putting them through legal civic teaching and schooling to become naturalized citizens. No mass amnesty, no paths of citizenship. You have to do it legally. So maybe Trump would take those illegal aliens who only want a better life, say, okay, you want a better life in America? Fine. Why don't you go through the legal channels, the legal processes of, say, do everything that legal migration does by giving them civics classes, by teaching them American history, American values, and so forth. And say, okay, if you do this, then you are sincere in a better life. And so, by doing it legally and the way you would had you filed in your own country, uh, I'll work with you. Now, I'm hoping Trump will do that. I think he will do that. He's a very fair minded guy. And I think he would do that. But we must get rid of the criminals first, starting with Agua. We got to get these criminals out. We got to get the coyotes out. We got to get all the, I forget what they call them. We got to get all of the uh, smugglers out. We got to find where those hundreds of thousands of missing children are. We got to stop the sex trafficking. We got to stop the human smuggling. We got to stop all of that. That is a criminal enterprise that has to stop. That, I believe, is the border czar's first responsibility. That would be his main focus, and I think that will be his main focus, is to get the criminal elements out of the country. Everything having to do with it. The sex trafficking, the sex slaves, everything. All of that has to go, or go to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. You are a rapist. You are a murderer. You go directly to jail. And that, I think, will be the border czar's initial job, because his main focus, I think he'll assign somebody else at DHS, but this one task of getting the criminals out of the country. And criminals, I mean murderers, rapists, sex trafficking, human trafficking, child labor, all of that. That has to be dealt with immediately. And I think that's what Holden's initial job will be. Um, so, um, yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. Because based on my understanding of his agenda and what he plans to do, I mean, that makes the best sense to me. Because, yeah. All right. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And I will talk to you later. Take care, guys. See you soon.